probably won't edit it much. Depends on how it goes.
Okay.
Okay. We are here, and I actually haven't been on an episode in a while, but you'll probably notice that Jared is not here. We are replacing Jared for an episode, and Greg is taking over, Greg Laban. So this will just be like us chatting about your van, the process of working with Van Do It, how you came to find Van Do It, and what brings you here today. So we'll pare that all down. If you want to introduce yourself, say a little bit about yourself and your wife and how you came to find Van Do It.
Sure. Greg Laban. I'm a resident here in the Kansas City area. I actually live in a suburb called Parkville, which is kind of the 180 degrees opposite of Blue Springs, where we're at now. I've started looking at the concept of an RV or an RV-like camper van probably 5 or 6 years ago, and really never got serious about it until last year. We ended up renting one from a local party, and on the way back home, it's like, I think I want one of these. The whole notion was that if we're going to go out and travel, typically we always had to find a boarding place for our dogs. And we always cut our vacation short because we missed the dogs. So we would come back home several days early, typically. And it's like, if we had a van, make it a little easier. So actually, we ended up getting the van because of the dogs.
Oh, that's great.
So it's their van, and they hire me to be their chauffeur.
We'll have to flash up a photo or something of your dogs because they're super duper cute. Everybody would love to see them.
I'll send you one. So we ended up getting the van after that, got it ordered. And, the neat thing about Van Do It is every time they give us a time frame, it's like, okay, it'll be several weeks or it'll be several months. It's always been shorter. So it's always been a pleasant surprise with Van Do It. How we found you, I started just looking around. I think probably a Google search for these types of Class B vans. And I happened to find one in Blue Springs. And I knew that, if I'm going to get one of these, I'll probably change it.
Yeah.
So the idea of, driving to Indiana or Texas or Colorado or something like that just really didn't sit with me. I actually had been in practice in Blue Springs, lived in Blue Springs at some point, and I decided let's try it. Once I looked at the website and the whole concept of the aluminum, the 80/20, the ACM panels, I'm just kind of a machining freak, and the notion of really well done modular components was very appealing. And once I saw it, it's like, I got to have one of these.
Yeah, love it. So did you guys come in for a tour first, or did you rent the van first?
Actually, we rented first and tried it out. And actually, it was a horrific problem. We ended up, we rented it for 2 weeks. And the idea was to take a 2-week trip into the Northeast for the fall foliage. And started out fine, except for the weather, and it was rain. So it was my wife and the 2 dogs and rain. Okay, well, that's fine. Maybe tomorrow will be better. No. For the next 5 days, we continued to have rain. And as I looked at the forecast, the rain was about a half day ahead of us and would have been like that for the next 10 days. So we cut that trip short, came home, and then headed south to Bentonville. Within a day or so, where there was sunny weather.
Love it.
Yes, so did we.
So you guys got really close while it was raining in the van. Close quarters.
Yes.
You were.
It was a little humid after a while with the dogs. But we had a great time, especially in Bentonville. It's a great place to visit.
Yeah.
And we ordered the van, got it picked up, I think, in February or so, and been out here a few times getting upgrades and, changes here and there done.
Yeah. When was your original pickup date? Or I guess when you rented, and then when was your, okay, this is what we want, despite the rain?
Yeah. I think November we went through the process of selecting out things, and they said, well, we might have a van available by April or May. And it's like, okay.
Because you guys were one of the first MOOV models that we did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm sure it was a little bit of a learning curve on our part too.
Yeah, yeah. And then within a couple of weeks, I got a call saying, hey, we got a van here that might work for you guys. Can you come out and take a look at it? And that was the other nice thing, being local. We could come out and take a look at the van, and it fit perfectly. It was a 2023 passenger van. And we actually wanted the windows. The MOOV was really cool, but it was built on the transit cargo. Our female dog likes to lay on top of the bed as we go down the road, but she has to be able to see outside.
The window, yeah.
Yeah, so we had to have a passenger style van, and you guys put it together in a MOOV package.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that was probably maybe the first. Austin might remember the first
there
MOOV.
was one other, I think, before, but he had the new
Yeah, I think there were a lot of things. We revised the MOOV. I don't even want to stick a number to it because I'm not sure. There were so many things that changed. But yeah, you guys were one of the very first. So I heard a little bit from Jared about the process, because you guys were one of the first and obviously our product is so modular. There's so many different options that when you guys came in, maybe it was your delivery day that he was offering up, different options and things. And
December 18th. I remember the day.
The date of the rental, it was around this time. We came in, we ordered it around this time, but December 18th.
Yes. They called us in. They said, hey, here's the deal. We're going to have your van ready mid-January. However, we want to give you some preview of what might come down the line. So my wife and I came out and we visited and looked at several unique new features, and it was a no-brainer. It's like, fine, take as long as you need. Go ahead. We want these. And that's what happened. And I think it pushed it back to February. Yeah. It was like a 4-week delay, not a big deal. And it was great to be able to.
What were the components or the aspects of it that were presented then that you were like, it's worth the wait, we want to opt for it?
Well, it was the front shower.
Yeah.
Because we were doing the MOOV with the electric hydraulic bed as opposed to the waterfall or drawbridge type.
Yeah.
We got that. And then I would come out actually intermittently to see updates on the van, but also the prototype creation of the shower curtain, which is why I'm here today, is they're going to be installing a shower curtain today.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that.
We'll have you back soon and you can give a shower review of what is the experience.
I won't take photos.
That's okay. I don't think we need photos of that. Maybe the dogs. If you give the dogs a shower there.
There you go.
We could do that.
There you go.
That's so funny. Great. Well, so what else? Was it just the shower and the
curtains
for that bed?
The curtains, going with the duet style pull down shades.
Yeah. So are those just on the one up there, or is that all of them?
We're getting the kitchen window curtain installed today, and then they're measuring for the rest of the windows because it's a passenger van, and they've got to figure out the dimensions for each of those windows.
Yeah. Yet again, adding another custom item that will probably be added to the list eventually. Right. But so how does that feel? Just knowing that we're constantly a mix of we're constantly innovating and adding new things, but also you get to be a part of it. How does that feel as a customer? Getting to be a part of that process.
It's sort of the whole Van Do It family type of approach. I had read about the people talking about, you become part of the family, and I can be a cynic at times. It may sound a little hokey, but once you buy the van and you start engaging with Van Do It, guess what? It really does seem like a family. Very welcoming. I've never seen customer support to the degree that I see at Van Do It in any product, whether it's a car or a truck or anything. You guys have been stellar at that. The problem that I see with following the Facebook group is I continue to see the innovation. And it's like, oh, gee, now I want that. The gear slide, well, mine's 4 inches tall. The new one looks like it's much trimmer. I like that idea. So I will put in a request to you at this point. Don't let me upgrade some of those components.
Okay, well, we'll just show you this video back. Greg in the future.
Yeah,
you didn't want this. But I have a feeling you probably won't be able to fight the urge.
Probably.
Like many, that is one of them. That's like, if that's the one negative review we get, is like, stop coming out with new things. I have to hide the Facebook app from myself so I don't see the page. Then I'll take it. If that's the worst thing, I'll take it.
Oh, the other thing that really sold us on this was Jared offering to, give us any color we wanted on countertops. And my wife wanted the blue, and we got the blue.
Yeah, I heard she liked the idea of the blue exterior as well.
Yes.
The blue mist color.
Yes.
But that was that a little too late in the game, or was that just too much for you?
Well, no, I love that. I love the blue exterior, but I didn't want to wait for the van, for one of those to come through.
Yeah.
And the fact that I can always wrap it.
Yeah, that's
any
true.
color I want, in fact. So, that's another neat thing about it.
Yeah.
Put a wrap on it.
Yeah. Do you think that's coming in the future, maybe? Something like that?
I hope not.
I mean, you're a photographer, so you could always include, maybe you go somewhere cool and there's a photo you've taken. Maybe you could do a little, like, van inception, a cute photo of the van, like, on a cliff, with the picturesque background, and then put that on the van.
There
so you
you
have
go.
the van on the van, or something like that.
Kind of
I've seen people
infinite
do that.
reflection there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I've seen people do that.
I have seen a lot of the folks' vans on the Facebook page, and there are some really great wraps out there where they have used photos that they've done either on the windows or on the side.
Yeah. Do you think you would do something like that?
I could be convinced to do that.
By your wife or by yourself?
By myself.
Okay.
My wife is the smart one in the family. She brings me back to earth.
That's great. I love it. So with being a photographer, were you doing that before you got the van? So how has the van like kind of enabled or like made it easier to explore that? And like, you were telling me about a trip you're going on soon, so you'll be in the van and taking photos.
Yeah, well, last year at this time, I did 3 weeks in the Pacific Northwest and such by myself in a Ford F-150 pickup truck, which was fine.
Yeah.
But, you had to find a hotel every night. I wasn't going to sleep in the back seat of it.
Or in the bed.
Or in the bed. So this year, I'm getting ready in 2 days to go to North Dakota for a photography workshop, and then I'll probably meander around for a week or two after that. And the ability to just be able to go and stay as long as I want. And, if I find a campground, great, 25, 30, 40 bucks a night, or boondock it.
Yeah.
And the ability, even this morning as I was waiting, looking at what I usually bring with me on a photo trip, you're usually limited by either what you can carry or what you can pack. Well, with the size of these vans, I can bring everything I have, and that way I don't have to pick and choose.
Yeah. No, I forgot that, or man, I wish I could have grabbed that. And the battery power too, being able to like charge up, no problem.
Charge up batteries, charge up laptops. Yeah, it's wonderful.
Yeah. So do you edit on the road like after you take photos, or do you usually wait until?
I usually wait till I get back home. I'll dump photos on a daily basis onto a separate drive just as a backup. But the ability to do that is good.
That's awesome. What's your main muse when it comes to taking photos? Is it of the van? Is it just of the landscape? Is it wildlife? All the above?
I typically like landscape photography, but this trip coming up is probably going to be a combination of landscape and some wildlife. I've never done wildlife to any great degree. So this will be a first for me.
Awesome. Well, they're difficult models. I can say that from my mom's a photographer, and she loves the deer that are up by like the Ozarks, and she takes photos of them, and they're funny. They're not trained models by any means. So sometimes you get really, really good things. Sometimes it's like, nope, turn around. No, wait, come back. And then, but you can get some really, really cool stuff that way.
Yeah, I'm hoping to not get a lot of butt shots.
Well, those just kind of happen too. Animals, they'll just go to the bathroom too, wherever they're at. So you might be like, oh, surprise. Get some of those. Awesome. Well, is there anything else, like any other big trips or anything, maybe with the whole family, like with your dogs and your wife, that you guys are planning?
Not planned right now, but I've kind of made it here in retirement. I've kind of made the decision that I want to go someplace every month. Yeah. So I've got to start planning that out. I got to get to work on that notion.
Yeah. You got some time.
Yeah.
You'll have your 3 weeks or so trip to to think about it while you're out in the
That's
wilderness.
what I figured,
So,
and I'll
yeah.
use that trip to figure out where the next trip is.
That's great. Well, like you mentioned with boondocking too, I mean, for the most part, you don't have to plan too much. You know,
Right.
you can just go, and van's got everything you need, and you're good to go. So, may not need to, but
That's right.
cool. Well, is there anything else? Maybe something you would say to a prospective owner, someone who's like in the process of waiting, or someone who's maybe on the fence, not sure if they want a van do it or a van in general. Like, what kind of advice would you give?
In terms of advice, let's see. I don't want to say don't cheap out, but don't cheap out. If you think you're going to want it, you probably are. So, you know, when I got mine, I did the stage 1 audio upgrade. As soon as I got it, it's like, I should have got the audio, stage 2, which I've subsequently done.
Yeah.
So, you know, you might as well get it done in the beginning.
Yeah.
It doesn't add that much to the cost, and it just makes it easier.
Yeah.
Especially if you live outside the area and would have to bring it back.
Yeah, absolutely. You being close, you can come by anytime and just hang out.
Yes, there you go.
Just hang out with us and Jared.
That's right.
And
drink,
then maybe
drink
see
free coffee.
Yeah, drink coffee and maybe see other things as you're sitting in our lounge and you're like, oh, what's that? I think I want that.
There you go.
So that might be just as dangerous as looking at the Facebook.
Great upselling there.
That's never our goal, but sometimes it just happens. You know, it's a happy accident. Awesome. Well, I think we're good to go unless there's anything else you want to mention or anything, Austin, you think we should cover. But this was great. I appreciate you being a part.
You're welcome.
We didn't force him to do this. He wanted to do this. And cut. Okay.
Thanks.
Awesome. Done and done.